Hello and welcome to the Dominion Daily for October 6th, 2025. We've got Renaissance and Base today. And we've got Century Sewers Research for Trashing. Well, I'll come back to that, I guess. We've got Moat with no plus actions, and then Research as the draw options. I guess there is Scepter. Scepter is kind of like plus actions, but like you can play some stuff in the buy phase without needing plus actions. So yeah, limited draw, limited plus actions for sure. Gains, we've got Market, Inventor, Workshop. It's technically Bureaucrat. So to me, this looks like we want to do. We want to get a whole bunch of scepters and do things like sceptering, Inventor, and Moat. You can actually do stuff like you Scepter Inventor to gain something, Scepter Moat to draw, like, say, another Scepter that you gained with your Sceptered Inventor, and then you Scepter Moat to draw it, and then, or draw a couple of them, and then you play more Scepters and that sort of thing. That is going to be... The tricky part is, like, we're going to want to thin with Sentry. Maybe also Research plus Sewers. We could get that. But, like, all of that stuff, that functions a little bit like a gamble deck where you want to not have normal actions like get in the way. One way to do that is just like use Research to draw a bunch of cards so that you basically draw your deck at the start of your turn. But if you don't have that set up, then you have like a hand that's like Inventor and some Scepters. Actually, it occurs to me, how do we get both an Inventor and a Moat into play? Okay. So I guess instead of using Moat, we'll have to use one of like Market, Harbinger, or Sentry. And we probably just don't play with Moat at all. Not probably. We don't play with Moat at all. Yeah. So yeah, I think the goal is going to be get as many Scepters as possible. Use Research to draw big every turn, like setting aside. Although, I guess the part of the issue with that, then, of course, is that means that you have a bunch of cards that you don't get to play on any given turn. Maybe that's fine, and maybe like if we're going for some kind of mega turn thing, then on the last turn we don't have to play our Research. But we probably, in the meantime, want to get a pair of Researches. To do draw. Also, obviously at the beginning, the Research will help us trash, particularly with Sewers. And then, yeah, we want probably some non-zero number of Markets, but maybe not a ton of Markets. I'm not really sure about that. We want Inventor. We want Scepters. What are we gaining? We only want one Inventor. What are we gaining with an Inventor the first time we play it of a turn? Harbinger, I guess? We'll have the opportunity to gain like a second Research, I guess, as well, but other than that... yeah, that's a little unfortunate, maybe. If we draw enough cards with Research every turn, then it doesn't necessarily matter that we have a bunch of like cantrips in our deck, because if we don't have enough stop cards, that we just like cycle through all of them, whatever, but... definitely not ideal. Of course, we want to play at least one per turn, probably starting at a certain point, so that we can do gain and play. Although another option, instead of actually doing gain and play, is that we like Scepter or Research and set aside more cards. That could be a thing to do in the last turn as well. Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be awkward. That much I feel confident about. I think I want to open Research Sewers. Citygate could be fine, and maybe we pick that up later, but if I see Research turn through, I really want to have Sewers available. We can get Inventor a little bit later. I think we'll have time for that, but trashing as fast as we can. If we don't necessarily maybe even have to use Sentry. I mean, if we can get a Sentry, I think we probably should, but if we can't, I don't think it's really a huge problem. Turn 1 Citygate. I don't know if that means the bot's trying to hit 5 or just 1 Citygate. All right. And yeah, we're just going to buy nothing. We do not want the seller. Oh. Well, we could get Sentry. Or we could just get Inventor. I mean, honestly, I think I'd rather have the Inventor. If we get Sentry and we just like reveal some copper, we're going to be in a pretty awkward spot. All right, this works for me. All right, I guess we're taking a Harbinger. I mean, we could take a silver with the aim of... We could take another Research. We do have another estate. But we do want to be able to hit, like, afford a Scepter and or a Market. And right now, we set aside 2 coppers. 3, 4, 5. So we do have enough copper in the deck for that. Next turn, we're only going to have these 5 cards plus whatever we add. So if we buy, or if we just gain the Harbinger, then we are guaranteed to see, like, we play Inventor and then we play yeah, we play Inventor and we play 5 coppers and we can buy a Market or a Scepter. Probably a Scepter already. I guess there is an argument for getting another Inventor. Maybe not now, although it wouldn't hurt. But the argument would be that way we can have 1 Inventor like set aside each turn with Research, if we can manage to line that up. I guess that would be the argument for having a seller. You discard the cards that you... I mean, of course, you're going to draw cards back up. So if you're like Research is drawing your deck, then that's not going to work. But if it's not, potentially set that up. Well, anyway, I mean, taking a second Inventor now wouldn't hurt our ability to afford Scepter. But then the next turn, we really want to line our Research up with that last estate. I think we're just taking the Harbinger. Okay. I've kind of forgot about the part where I'd have to gain another card here. Could just be another Harbinger. Could be the second Research. I guess we can also be researching Harbingers at some point, it occurs to me. We're certainly not going to need as many as we're going to end up with. Also researching researches. The risk of taking another research is that we don't see the inventor next turn. And that would be the advantage of taking a second inventor. If we see research double inventor, we can just research the inventor. Like, that's fine. But we really do want to see the inventor. Yeah, I think I'm actually going to take second inventor and scepter. Okay. We didn't see the research. Do we want to take a second research now? I think that makes sense. And then do we want to take another scepter, or do we want to grab a market? I think scepter. All right, what do we want to set aside here? I think we particularly want... Well, I guess we're going to see all of these cards next turn, because we're going to effectively top deck them all once we research the estate, right? So it doesn't really matter what we top deck. It doesn't matter that we top deck, in fact. Oh, wait, it does matter. Hold on. Why? Oh, 4 coppers. I can't... I missed that there were 4 of these. Okay. In that case... I think I still like putting Inventor on top. I guess we are going to see all of them. Okay, whatever. Right. So... Yeah, so again, the question is, do we want to just take a more expensive card that's better for researching? Or do we want to just take a Harbinger? I'm going to say we take another research. There's Scepter. Here I think we'll just trash some coppers. One more Inventor, I guess. I don't think I want to add another 4 cost to my deck that I don't have to. If I could afford Market or Scepter, I would get that, but... All right, well, we're certainly going to research one of these inventors. Research and 3 scepters. So we have another research for next turn. So we could just research this inventor, and yeah, we don't get full value out of it, but we get pretty good value. I think we invent another inventor since we lost 2 inventors there. Maybe it's not important to have 2 of them, but Just in case. Okay. Get rid of our last 2 coppers. And another inventor, another research. Does it really matter? I don't know. Wait. We should play the Harbinger. So we can actually do the gain and play thing this turn if we want to. I don't know if we do. I guess we could scepter a research on this other inventor. All right, let's gain an inventor. Scepter. Scepter. Oh, doing that. Yeah, the problem with that is that now the research isn't going to, or the inventor isn't going to cost anything. Right, I forgot about that part. Okay. Shoot. Well, there's not a whole lot we can do about that, I don't think. We could take a province here. And still buy a scepter. Seems like a decent idea. I was thinking we might research it. I think that's what we're going to do. Okay, yeah, let's just research it. Whoop-ow. We have 2 inventors set aside. We don't really need more of those, don't think. So maybe we take another research. I mean, we could. The reason to take Harbinger, over some of these things is if we're not going to, bother to research anything, or if we're only going to research like one thing and we already have the thing that we're going to research. I don't really know if that's the case or not. I'm kind of wondering though if we could like try to win next turn. What would that look like? It's going to be hard to gain like a bunch of provinces, I guess, is the issue. And we can't, the piles aren't low enough for us to empty on duchies, which would potentially be feasible. That's an argument that we should take another research, I think. Still try to set some stuff aside. I mean, granted, right now we have 6. We're going to have 9 cards that aren't set aside on our research. Harbinger is going to draw one of those, so that's like 8 cards. Which is not that much. And researching a Harbinger would be enough to do a maximum set aside. Alright, let's just do that then. Buy a Harbinger. Do we want to to buy a Harbinger. It might be in our interest to lower Harbingers to move towards the pile out that I mentioned. Sure. Whoa! Double province. All right, so we can play Inventor 8 times. So we can empty the duchies, but we can't empty them in a win. The bot has nothing set aside. I'm not anticipating. If we find the markets, we invent 7 duchies and buy duchy double inventor. We are not guaranteed to be able to do that, and we decrease our research value by drawing here, but not a whole lot. I think it's worth playing a Harbinger. Okay. There's one market. 50-50? What's the other card? Aha. Oh, and another scepter. Okay. So this should win. Actually, can we empty the provinces? Because the bot lowered the provinces? We can. Huh, how about that? I didn't even see that. Well, we didn't have the scepters to do it before we drew into the last one. Yeah, we had to get lucky to do that. We did not have to get lucky to win the game, maybe. Maybe we did. Did we have to bottom deck a scepter? So we would have otherwise needed the market? I'm not... No, I guess not, because if we hadn't seen the market, we were going to see the scepter. Yeah, that was the only stop card left. Okay. So it was very correct that we didn't take another research or inventor or whatever last turn, unless we did take one, but we didn't take... Yeah, we took Harbinger. Yeah. So yeah, that was the research province turn, was it not? Yep. Yeah, if anything, I ended with, well, I got some of those inventors, but I gained, I had 3 inventors? No, wait, I'm looking at the bot's turn. Gained an inventor. We should have gained an estate. But I guess I had 3 inventors, which was too many. That was, yeah, that hurt my chances of being able to do this. But we got 8 scepters. That was pretty good. I was definitely surprised that the bot was able to double province. I guess it must have had a decent research the turn before. Oh. Yeah, not really. It just found most of its money or something. Found 2 of its 3 golds. Did it trash the other one? No. I guess it replayed Inventor a couple times, still needed to hit 12. Or, no, 10. That's, okay. That makes sense of it. Yeah. Well, That actually wasn't as awkward as I thought it was going to be. I mean, it still felt awkward every time I played the actual inventor. It was like, okay, which of these cheap cards that I don't really care about putting in my deck do I want to put in my deck? But yeah, that was smoother than I expected. And there was a point in like the early mid game where I was like, have I made a mistake in not trashing enough copper? And nah, it was fine. We didn't need Sentry. Research sewers got the job done. Like even just like non-terminally trashing 2 coppers when we didn't draw anything. The couple times we did that, it was like that's still pretty good, especially on a board where we don't really care about having money. So yeah, cool. Well, anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.